Man, I'm kind of disappointed in myself. I almost arrived at my destination and I didn't shoot you guys a video. I was just freestyling to myself. But, so yeah. I want to talk about books. I was thinking about this. Someone asked this as a question. They said, what are my favorite books that I'm doing? You know, they said they're into reading right now. And I have a few favorite books. I think some of you know, I've talked about them on stream. And I was thinking about it. There's like books that I could recommend, and I don't. Well, I'm gonna go over those, and they're not really trading related. Well, there's like they're half trading related, half 50% are trading related. If I was gonna give a list of like 5 or 4, so 2 are trading related, 2 aren't. But then I also have books I want to read, and that's the thing. So I think that'll give you guys some insight too into stuff I want to look into, and I'll kind of tell you the reason why. But books are very important. I think even we could get, you know, it's the weekend, so I'm allowed to talk conspiracy, like real conspiracy with you. I think, you know, books are slowly it's shifting where there's a lot of hidden information in books, and I think, you know, you can't underestimate it. Well, a lot of people ask me, you know, Josh, how did you start learning how to trade stocks? I taught myself from Jim Cramer books, and that's one of the books I would put on the list if you want to start out as like a beginner, and honestly at any level, because this book just teaches investing. You know, and I'm not going to give this in any chronological order, or at least this book would be on the lower end, but Jim Cramer's Watch TV and Get Rich. He has a book on that. Then he has one on 401ks too, which is good, but that's one book. I read that when I was younger. That's what taught me about investing and all that stuff, but that was a really solid book. I like that book a lot, but you know, that's how I learned to trade stocks, and there's a lot of information, I think, in books, and, you know, people share experiences, and some people, that's just their, you know, what I'm trying to, I guess my conspiracy is that it was the medium, you know, it was the Twitter, the YouTube of the days of most people, you know, writing. It's the oldest way. But that sounds so right, doesn't it sound stupid? But they, you know, that being said, you're not gonna see some of the certain stuff. That's you know, online, but because at the same time YouTube has some great resources all over the internet. But you know, there's that, and even my whole premise is now, if you've listened to me before, I like the books that aren't stock market related. You guys have heard my, you know, that video I said with art, and even how I relate the market to life and being, you know, serious in many levels like that. You know, just I think if you pay attention in life, in how you manage your life, your attitude, you know, just conduct your personal business will reflect your business and your trading. So, you know, that's where it starts. So another book I'll say, the Bible, it's a book in the Bible, Proverbs. I shouldn't even say that, it already slipped, I said it. But, because when I say Bible, people get, oh, no. Before you go crazy, realistically speaking, this is a book that's recognized Proverbs. It's written by King Solomon, I believe. Or not, I used to say King Saul, but it's King Solomon, and he was one of the richest kings in the world, a literal king, you know. So why I like it, because even the purpose, the summary of the book is, it's a book, the summary, the spark notes of Proverbs is how to live a life that's successful with wealth and something like that. You know, you could look it up, but I like it. It gives good advice to approaching business, who to put yourself around, how to handle even emotions and trading and failure and getting rich, and so many things. That's why I think it's a very interesting book and topic as a whole. So that's one of the books I like. That's the second one, so that's 2. And then the third one, and now everyone has heard me say Proverbs before too, so it's not that big of a deal. But this one, again, the last book I've said before that I'm going to share with you now is Intelligent Investor. Now this book is very, very stock related. Now this is, again, very fundamental, and that's what you'll notice a lot. I don't like the books, like a lot of people are like, oh, you know, have you read Reminiscence of a Stock Market Operator? Have you read this book, you know, this book, that book? You know, and it's very day trading related, or like hedge fundy, or, you know, I've really, you know, the stock books that I've liked have so far always been technical or even history related. If it's not, you know, completely just totally in left field and not related to the stock market. But, you know, this book, Intelligent Investor, is very market related. This is written by Benjamin Graham, and it was, he was Warren Buffett's mentor. So he mentored Warren Buffett, and it's very financial in the sense that it talks about fundamental investor. It does talk about stuff with day trading, but it is very old school traditional, but what it teaches is so good. But however, it is complex, you know, very, very, very complex for people. Both the language is kind of old, they have updated versions, but even the stuff that gets discussed is kind of not, it's not too good in that, you know, in the sense that it's very higher level financial stuff. So there's that. Another book too, because even just explaining this when I say difficult books, and I know this book everybody knows, I say it all the time, Richest Man in Babylon. If you haven't read that, I think you need to read that ASAP. It's 80 pages. You can get it done quickly, but for most people, the difficulty they have is it's an old book. But I think, you know, starting with those books, you know, you could kind of even see, if you've watched my videos, you see the approach. You know, if I'm saying literally, you got the fundamental Jim Cramer, which is like, it's like a lighter weight fundamental. He talks about other stuff, you know, it's kind of just like, it's like a dumbed down, you know, it's literally the basics watered down of getting into stocks for dumb people, you know, people who watch TV for stocks. Think about it. That's how I got in. Very, very basic, very remedial. But now if you already have an interest, you could use the information a lot better. You know, having a foundation and taking a simple explanation, you know, and understanding it simply will help you a lot. So that's where that Jim Cramer book comes in. Your Proverbs is more conducting business, trading psychology, you know, your mindset. And then you have the Intelligent Investor, which is both basics to advanced, and it's very much more complex. So there's nothing really trading wise in here on those books of the three. Now the next book I want to recommend, oh excuse me, this one isn't trading related, but Alchemist. This is one of my favorite books growing up. This is a book you were supposed to read as a kid. You could read it in, I don't know, in summer. How many of you guys read The Alchemist growing up? But it was funny because I always remember this as being one of my favorite books, but I never really remembered why. And I don't know why it stuck with me, and it came to mind, and literally I was reading about the plot before I was going to make this video, and I read about the plot on The Alchemist, and I was like, wow, this makes sense. It was like about a boy like fulfilling his dreams and like people finding their purpose, and I was like, wow, that's deep, you know, and I liked it a lot. So there's The Alchemist is one I'm going to, you know, I think you guys should look into it because I want to reread it, but I think even from what I know in the plot, because I can't say why, but just go read it, honestly. That might be a weird thought. I think we should have it. Can we? I mean, I think we might do that on stream. We should all read I don't know why it's coming, but you know what my first thought is, you know, find your, you know, pick your role. Like I said in the video, I asked you guys, you know, what do you want to know? Do you want to know how to make the position, find out what's happening? But I even think in this market, you know, it's finding your purpose, where you fit in, where you're going to fit in with your investment strategy, because again, there is going to be the investing and there is going to be the trading. And like, even in this volatility, you know, everything I know about traditional investing, you know, it says there's nothing you could do right now except for hold, you know. So what do you do? What is the right thing you do? How do you define your investment purpose in life, huh? So there's that. And the last piece now is, what books do I want to read? Well, really, there's only one. I haven't read it. People have said, I don't know if it's a book or video, but it's Principles by Ray Dalio. That's one book. And there's another book I wanted to read, but pretty much, you know, I want to go look into the Principles of Ray Dalio. I've never looked into it. People always talk about him, Peter Schiff. I want to look into those guys. I'm sure people have commented on my videos and they said that I remind them of them, and vice versa. And I want to look into it. Especially, I have seen a bunch of stuff by Ray Dalio. And even then, you know, his fund is just, it killed it. I think he did a lot. I think he did like 28% better while everybody got smoked, you know. So I like Ray Dalio, and I want to look at, that's something I want to look into. And why I'm bringing that up is because I think you should, you know. I'm not focused on you know, the book about a guy, you know, like Jordan Belfort, like again, that reminiscence of a stock operator. People always, you know, people want these like flashy Wall Street books. I'm not really into that, you know. I don't care about like the story of that. I like the ones based upon history. I have textbooks that I could recommend too. You know, I think anything on politics, economies. I have a college book I recommend, but I can't remember it. It's the political. It's international political economy. That one is a good one. And then there's like 4 other ones. I'm gonna just go through my old college syllabuses, but I like old textbooks, and then also anything about the stock market, kind of related in the sense of, both history and economic theory. I like economic theory, essentially, and that's what these guys are. You know, I would say myself included, like people like Peter Schiff, people like Ray Dalio, they're sharing economic thought, their own economic theories on what's going on. So I think that is the most key and important aspect. So, or that's what separates the types of books, and that's what I'm into. That's kind of the books and information that I want to be reading about and looking into. So, yeah, that's pretty much it, but that's kind of my top 5 in a weird way. Let me know if you guys have a list of books. Let me know what books you have read that have helped, and you know, maybe put like a quick parentheses, kind of the category, you know, what type is it, fundamental, day trading, you know what I'm saying, and what books do you want to read? I would love to know. Maybe we should we get like a trading book club? I know Ryan Allison has a crazy book, a book dump he did for the TTF a few years ago. It's like it's crazy amount of gigs, so we could maybe do something like that, but maybe that could get overwhelming. But hey, I mean, knowledge is knowledge, right? But I love you guys. Subscribe, like. You already probably are doing that if you're here, but if you're new, yeah, see you on stream. Let's go.